Hi YouTube, this is your girl Effie Alonso, and in this video I'm going to give you guys an update on how baby is doing, and I'm also going to be talking a lot about breastfeeding and giving you a few products that have helped me on my journey so far. So let's get right into it. Okay, so baby is currently 3 months and 1 week old, or you can also say he's 14 weeks depending on however you count it. So far baby's been doing really well. At his last appointment, baby was weighing in at about 12 pounds. And he was born at 7 pounds and 13 ounces. So he's been eating well, doing great, peeing and pooing, all that good stuff. So I can't complain. Baby does not sleep throughout the night yet. He still wakes up twice to feed, usually around 2 a.m. and again around 4 a.m. But I can't complain. So far, it's been good. So I'll just get right into breastfeeding. Now, I will say this, breastfeeding is not an easy task. It's not an easy thing to go through and not an easy journey. But I will say that the one thing that helps with breastfeeding is staying consistent and working hard at it. It's a hard process, but believe me, it gets better. It was very challenging for me, but I stuck to it, and will say that it has gotten better. So don't be discouraged and just keep up the good work, all moms, on how you care for your baby. It does get easier and better. So what I will say is, when baby first came out, he latched on immediately to my breast, but I didn't have much to give baby. I didn't have a lot of colostrums. Like, I had tiny amounts of colostrum, and even with that I had to squeeze my breast. Like, I had to hand express hard to get those small amounts of drops for baby, so it wasn't easy. But my milk came in as time went on. I just kept putting baby to the breast, and my milk finally did come in. It came in, I think 2 days after I had the baby, but usually it takes about 4 days, or it could even take up to a week, that first week for your milk to come in. But you just have to be consistent in stimulating your breast. So in stimulation, they suggest hand expressing, and they also suggest putting baby to the breast. Doing a lot of skin to skin helps to get your hormones regulated and helps your milk supply to come in. Now, I did go to a breastfeeding clinic here in Toronto, or here in the GTA. We have a few breastfeeding clinics, and I do recommend any mom out here to go to the breastfeeding clinic, because it's a great resource and a great support to help promote breastfeeding and help you to continue your breastfeeding journey. And I tell you that it's not easy, but you may feel like you don't need the information, because originally I wasn't going to go to the breastfeeding clinic, but even if you get one thing out of it, it's still worth going. So just go, hear them out, and you may be surprised. You may learn something new, and it may help you on your journey. I do recommend the Healthy Babies, Healthy Children program. It's a great support. It helps with anything related to baby. They can even send a nurse to come into your house, or you can speak to one over the phone if you have any questions. You know, being a new mom, it's not easy, but that resource, it's an amazing resource to use here in the city of Toronto, and it's free. So you might as well get all the help you can get. Although I haven't used the Healthy Babies, Healthy Children, a lot of women do swear by it, and again, use that and the breastfeeding clinic, and those are two great resources here to use to help you with your journey as well. Now, when it comes to breastfeeding, again, I did talk about the supply, how to get your supply going. Pumping also helps your supply, but the best thing to help the supply is putting baby to the breast, getting him to latch on. Some moms have trouble with latching. I didn't have trouble with latching, but the way baby's mouth was and the way it was sucking, like, I do recommend that if baby is on and it's hurting you, you use your finger to get him to stop sucking, take him off, and then put him back on. And keep trying that until you get a better latch. The signs of a good latch is the whole nipple inside baby's mouth, and the pain should get better. It shouldn't be consistently painful. If it is, try unlatching again and try putting baby back on. Now, I think it still hurt me no matter how much I tried, but at some point it was getting better, but then it would still hurt again, but then it would get better again. Now the pain is not as painful as it used to be. It used to be so painful that it would hurt my ribs and hurt my clavicle, but not anymore. It's not that painful anymore. I'll get pains here or there, but it's tolerable or manageable now. But before, it was tough. I do suggest pumping as well. When my milk first came in, I was engorged. My breasts were like swollen and huge, filled with milk. And at that point, I didn't have a pump, so I was hand expressing some of it into a bottle. But if you have a pump at that point, pumping it and storing some of it if baby's not eating all of it would be great as well. One more thing about breastfeeding I will say is that in order for baby to gain the weight with breast milk, now they say to put baby on each breast the same amount of, like if he spent 10 minutes on this breast, put him on this breast for another 10 minutes. But sometimes baby, like you have to go according to how baby is feeling or what baby wants. Now I will say that the beginning of the breast milk, when you're starting a feed, is usually water. I don't know how to describe it, but when you pump, you see the difference between the milk when you continue pumping. The first milk that comes out is like watery, and it's like a clear fluid that comes out. But the more you pump, you'll see a white milk start to come out, which is called Hind's milk. Now that is the milk that baby eats to gain weight. That has all the calorie. My doctor calls the first part the soup, and the second milk the meal, which is called Hind's milk. Yes. Now I didn't know about this until I was actively breastfeeding or going to the clinic and talking to my doctor to help baby gain weight. So the Hind's milk is what you want baby to get, and sometimes it takes a while for them to eat to get to that Hind milk. So when you're giving, you want to empty, they say to empty out a breast, but I never feel that my breast is empty. So I was having trouble understanding what they meant when you know that the breast is empty. So what I would do, or a tip I would give, is that when you're feeding, to express some to see what color your milk is at that point, to see if it's still the clear milk or to see if it's the white milk. The white milk is what's going to help baby gain weight, and that's what baby's going to get all its fat and nutrients in. So always try to feed to get to the white milk, for baby to eat more of the white milk, because that first milk is just, it's very thin and it's going to go through baby quickly, but the white milk is what stays in him longer to make him more settled. Baby was a little bit jaundiced in the beginning. He just had to eat and pee and poo it out. At that point, I wish I had the pump. Then I would have just given him the breast milk in a bottle, because he wasn't doing much on the breast, but it still put him back on the breast. But because I didn't have that at that time, I gave him some formula that just the one day he started peeing and pooing great, and then he's been having breast milk ever since. He does get a pacifier as well. I give him the pacifier because sometimes he does like to continue to suck and suck and suck. But he's not even fond of the pacifier. Some days he'll take it, some days he doesn't want it. It all depends on his mood. It's amazing to see how he grows, to learn his patterns, to learn his behavior. It's an amazement sight to see. It's hilarious. But yeah, it's been fun so far. Now, what will I say about the pump? The pump that I purchased, I waited about 2 weeks after to purchase the pump, because I wasn't expecting baby at 38 weeks. He came at 38 weeks. I was expecting him at 40 weeks, so I hadn't purchased the pump yet. But I did purchase a pump off of Amazon for $80. Now, I won't say I'm cheap, but I will say I'm frugal. The pump, you could get some at Walmart. You can get some at Shoppers Drug Mart. I think the electric double pumps go for about $270, but you can get a hand manual pump as well. I think those are $80, and that's just a singular manual hand pump. Or I think those are the only ones I've seen. I haven't seen any other wells yet. But if you go to a breastfeeding clinic, you can also rent a pump. And from Shoppers Drug Mart, they have like a medical store. You can also rent a pump from them too. So whichever option you do go with, there's a pump bound to be available to you. So I'll just show you the pump that I purchased. And I just bought this off of the reviews. It's called the Rio Booby. And it comes like that. Now, what I will say about this pump is that you have to be careful with it, because mine's broke on me, but my husband was able to fix it. So if you see, it takes a regular Android plug, and these are the power buttons and the settings. You can press it to go up and press it to go down, and then the mode. So it starts off with a low suck. They claim it's like a massaging suck, and then it goes up higher, and then as the higher you get, the more the pull is to get the milk out. And then so it is recommended that you pump for about 15 minutes or 12 to 15 minutes in one sitting. I wasn't doing it that way, and that's probably what messed up my supply. But it's really hard to do that, like especially if your nipples are hurting you. But this one comes with a double, with a spout that has the double pump on it, the double thing that you can do it twice. But I was unable to do that, so I did one at a time. I always do one at a time because I hold my breast and I hold the shield to it while I'm pumping. And I think I do that because I don't think this shell is my size. If you go to the breastfeeding clinic as well, they'll show you the shells with the pump for you to get your size in the shells. Now there's one that I attended where they have different types of shells to help you out with. And even if you're in the hospital too, they have like the different shells that you can use. They fit it to your nipple. Now I think this is small, and it's not a one size fit all. So it doesn't really help with this shell, but it gets the job done. So I put it to my breast, and I hold my breast, and I hold this to it, and then it pumps it out or whatever. And then it connects through here. The back, it fell off of it, but yeah, you get it. So that's the pump that I've been using, and it's been working so far. It's been helping me. And I pump usually to save the milk for my mom when I leave baby with my mom, and when he's with my husband as well. I use the Lancino storage bag, and I bought this one based off of the reviews I got. This one's about $10 at Walmart, and here's how the pump bag looks like. So I just pump into the bottle and I pour it into this bag, and it saves up to 6 ounce. And usually baby eats anywhere from 4 ounce. If I pump about 4 ounce in a day, in a feed. So throughout the day, so probably like 4 ounce, probably 8 times in the day. They're about, like, I haven't really timed it or really like measured how much he eats each feed, because when he's breastfeeding, it's hard for me to measure it. He just eats and eats and eats when he's done. Sometimes it's hard to tell when he's done because he spits up and like vomit comes up a lot. Not a lot, but periodically. So like I can't measure it that way, but I'm able to measure it when I pump into the bottle and we feed what I pump out to him. And it's about 4 ounces a feed. About 4 to 5 ounces, or about 120 mils to about 150 mils in a feed. So in the beginning of my pumping journey, again, I had like hard nipples. Like my nipples were so hard, and I wouldn't say cracked, but they were sore and it felt so hard. The reason why I'm saying they weren't cracked because I didn't see any blood, but some mothers bleed, and that's when they recommend the nipple cream. Some people will say not to use the nipple cream, but I actually recommend it. This really helped. This is the Lancino lanolin cream, and it really helped my nipples feel much better. Like, it was tough, but these helped me through that, but didn't help me with the pain. With the pain, I will say that I use like a cloth in hot water, and I just would place it over my nipple. That would help it a lot. And this one, you don't have to clean it off. The baby can eat with this on your nipple. And also they recommend in the breastfeeding clinic a saline solution for when your nipples are sore or cracked. So it's just taking warm water in a bottle or a cup and putting salt in it, and then putting it to your nipple for it to soak in the saline solution. And that was to help with the pain, but I never did that. I just used a cloth with hot water, and I would just place it on my nipple, and it helped. So that's my breastfeeding journey so far. Continue to breastfeeding. I may start to supplement here or there, maybe with formula. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how things go. So far, baby's been doing well, so I can't complain. Baby had his shots at his last appointment too. He took the first shot very well, but the second shot, oh baby, poor baby, he screamed. and was very cranky throughout that day, but he did pretty well. By the end of the day, he was good. We gave him some tempura. It's like a Tylenol for him to feel. My doctor recommended I gave it to him for the one day, and he was pretty good. He handled it or took it pretty well. Baby's also circumcised. We circumcised him within the first week of when he was born. He took that one pretty well too. He wasn't fussy. Whenever we would change his diaper, he would scream or yell here or there, but then that was about it. But he took that one pretty well as well. And that's pretty much it for how baby is doing. I'm doing pretty well as well. My postpartum it's been okay. I can't complain much, like I always say. Anyways, I will come back again with another update on baby. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next one.